channel and welcome to another stitch with me. I apologise that I haven't uploaded in, I think it's like 8 days or something, and I do like to try and upload twice a week. Last week I just did barely any stitching. I was so busy, and that's actually the first week in probably like 6 months that I didn't do any stitching for over a day. So yeah, I'm trying to get back into it now. And I know I said in my last video that my next one would be this piece, which is the World Travel Bookshelf by Aimee Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. I plan to work on this next part of this diagonal. I do have one stitch in there that I need to fill in. So yeah, I guess we will just get started. So this stitch that's missing here, I think I decided that I would be stitching that in once I get to this diagonal, just because there's a few of that symbol over here. I don't actually think I've stitched on this piece since I last filmed it. It's not actually, I mean, I've got my whip go priorities and this one's sort of taking a back seat, which is a bit sad because I do really like it, even though I've only done a small amount. But yeah, I do hope to soon get a little bit more time on here. The new whip go numbers for May have just been announced, and one of them is the free space. So if you'd asked me 2 weeks ago what my free space would have been, it would have been this. However, as I'm sure many of you are aware, the Grand Library has now been released, and I have just purchased it, and I've also purchased some fabric for it, which will be a 28 count Lugana. So that should be coming this weekend. So yeah, very excited about it. Been waiting for that chart for what feels like my entire life. So yeah, I can't wait to start that one. Okay, so there's just one stitch of that colour. And then I still need to grid this. See, I said that in my last video of this, and I still haven't gridded it. So it makes counting harder. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's a lot of that symbol on here, so I may do that one last. I'll do the other 2 part threads first, and then I'll come back to that one. I've also, I don't know if I mentioned in my last video, but I think I did, but I bought some new Q snaps, and I believe these ones are 8 inches by 13 or 11 or something, maybe 11 by 13, and they're a little bigger than I'm used to, so I'm kind of having to reach quite far around it because it is so big, but it's not the end of the world. A bit of fluff there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to working on the 28 count. I haven't got any pieces on 28 at the minute, and I'm really liking my 25. So I'm hoping that 28 isn't too small. But it's such a big piece that I kind of want to try and contain how big the finished piece will be, which means I need to do it on a higher count. I'm sure I'll get used to it. When I started my 25 count piece with my Amazing Animal Kingdom, I thought it was so small, and now I'm totally used to it, so I'm sure I'll get used to 28 count as well. Now, where are we going? I really love all these pastel colours in this corner. So I hope you all had a really nice week last week. I can't even remember what I did. It was mine and my boyfriend's anniversary. So one night we were out for dinner, so I didn't do any stitching that day. And I remember another day we had family over, so I didn't stitch that day. And what else did I do? I can't really remember, but I was busy. So busy that I can't even remember what I did. But this week I am a little bit less busy, so I've got time for stitching. Thank God. Okay. I need someone to comment on this video at some point after a few days of uploading it, just reminding me that I need to grid this fabric, ready for next time I use it. Actually, just going to adjust my camera angle just so you can see a little better. Hopefully that's okay. Now I can't see very well, but that's the price you pay. I think me and my boyfriend are going away either this coming weekend or next week. I'm just waiting to hear back from someone at work about whether I'm swapping some shifts or not. I'm supposed to be working nights this weekend, and then I would get 3 days off to make up for the nights next week, plus there's a bank holiday. So I then took another holiday day just so I had all 5 days off next week. But one of my colleagues has asked if you wouldn't mind swapping so that I do my nights next week. So if I do, then we'll be going away this weekend. If not, then we'll be going away next week. But we're planning to go camping in Wales. So hopefully the weather is nice. We might do a little walk up Snowdonia. And when I say a little walk, I do not mean a little walk, because it is, of course, a mountain. So it won't be a little walk at all. Yeah, nice to get out and do something. We're quite outdoorsy people, so definitely always look forward to camping. Okay, I think that's all of that colour in here. Mark those off and see where I'm going next. So there is some more of them in this diagonal, so I will park that there if I can find out where it is without the gridding. It's here. I believe there. Okay, so all of the symbols left bar one in this piece of diagonal is this colour, so this definitely is not going to be enough. We'll go as far as we can. I actually purchased the Grand Library today and it was on sale. I haven't looked on Facebook. I don't know if there's a entire site-wide sale going on or if that one was just on sale for some reason, but I was very happy about it. I was fully prepared to pay full price, so it was a nice surprise to see it was on sale so soon after being released. I had a comment, I think on my last video, someone explained to me that the Thomas Kincaid charts don't go on sale at all because of a contract, I guess, they have between like an artist and Heaven and Earth contract. So that's a shame, but totally worth full price. I am yet still to buy one though. I'm being adamant now that I'm not buying any more charts until I finish one. The Grand Library was my last exception to my rule. I'm not buying any more until I finish something. And I'm absolutely nowhere near finishing anything, so I'm not going to be buying any more for a while. I might actually leave the Heaven and Earth Designs Facebook group because I get so enabled. Okay, I'm going to end this thread. I'm also doing my waist threads a little different now. Oh, I've left my scissors miles away. One moment. So I'm not sort of doing the stitch and then pulling it out. I'm just cutting a tiny tail and hoping for the best. I didn't like to do that before because I was worried that I would pull it out at the back, but I've been trialing it on my Amazing Animal Kingdom and it's been going okay so far. So I'm going to mark off the ones that I've done and then we will get some more thread. Okay, I've just adjusted the camera again just because it was in my way a little bit too much there. Where should we start? We'll start on this end. So my plan for the Grand Library actually is potentially something crazy. I'm going to try and rather than starting it in the top left corner and, you know, working in diagonals or working in rows, I'm going to try and stitch each element of the photo or the picture. So, for example, in the center of the picture, there's the fireside chair. So I would stitch the chair, and then I would stitch the fire, stitch the floor, like all separately. and like form the picture that way. May potentially be a complete disaster, but I also think it would be quite nice to see the picture coming together that way, and then sort of work through each fictional theme across the shelves, because it's nice to, you know, change it up every now and again. And if I absolutely hate it, I can obviously go back to doing it the way I'm used to doing it, which is like this. You can stitch however you like, and it doesn't matter how many times you change your method, as long as you're having fun. I think that would be fun to try. But it may potentially mean that I have to grid the entire fabric. I usually, if I'm using fabric that I'm gridding myself, I will kind of grid as I go, like grid each page as I get onto it. But if I'm going to be doing that, I might have to, especially if I start in the middle, I may well have to grid the entire thing, which is fine. It doesn't take too long, but just another thing to do. I hope my hand hasn't been in the way the entire time. I'm sure it probably has. I apologise for my tatty nails again. I am hopefully going to be doing them tomorrow. Been waiting for some more summery colours to arrive. Didn't want to come out the right hole here. Okay, go in this one then. I also had a question on my last video about how I decide which hole to start my tent stitch in, and I like to, if I can, start in the hole either the top or the bottom, depending on which way would mean my thread is travelling the shortest distance at the back. But sometimes, you know, the hole is a bit bulky and the other one's easier to use. Just whichever one makes the most sense in the moment, I guess. No particular rhyme or reason to it. I know a lot of people like to start them all the same way each time regardless, but honestly I don't really see a difference. Just do whichever you prefer, I guess. I'm wondering if on 28 count I can pull off 1/1 tent stitch, or whether it's still a bit too sparse coverage. I'll have to have a little test, because as much as I love the tent stitch, on the small counts with the 2 threads, it does get bulky in the back. Okay, so that last stitch there is a different symbol, so I'll miss that one. Is anyone else super excited that the Needle Ninja is back on YouTube? So glad that she's back. I absolutely love her videos. She's definitely an inspiration to me. So glad she's back. Okay, so I'll park that one there, and I will mark off all of those stitches. Okay, so it's just this one little lonely stitch left. I do have a parked thread for it somewhere, but where? Ah, in the next diagonal. Okay, that's fine. We can start a new one down here. So I still haven't gotten around to doing the business card holder floss storage situation. I definitely have to have another look into that. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Okay, that's that one little stitch done and parked. So now I'm going to go in and cut away all these waste threads in this diagonal. Okay. Okay. And that'll be fine. All right. So let's move this down a bit. All right. So just one of this in this section. Gosh, these colours are so lovely. Now park that one there. I actually, on my Amazing Animal Kingdom, where I'm at the edge of my fabric and it's folded over my Q-snap, the edge that's folded underneath, I actually started to, you can see it a little bit through the fabric there, but I accidentally started to stitch it into my design. Luckily it was just right on the edge, like where the, you know, where the frayy part of the fabric is, so I could just gently pull it out. But definitely something to keep an eye out for when it's in the Q-snap and it's the fabric's folded, you know, it's pushed underneath. Yeah, to remember to keep that clipped out of the way so you don't accidentally stitch your fabric in 2 layers. Which seems impossible, but I don't know how I didn't notice that I was doing it. But there you go. wonder if it's because the fabric that I'm doing my Amazing Animal Kingdom on is very, very soft. So it's hard to actually like feel because it's very light. And the needle goes through it, you know, fairly smoothly. Whereas this one, it's quite obvious because it's quite scratchy and stiff material because it's Aida. I will park this one. It's getting a little bit short, but I can pull off a few more stitches with that one, I think. Okay. And this super light colour again, which you can barely see on the fabric. This colour is 3866, so it's slightly off-white. Okay. Let's mark those off and then see where the next ones are. So there's a few in the next diagonal, so I'll park that down there. 1, 2, so I missed 5. Okay. I'm going to try to remember to keep zoomed in on my markup at RXP because I think when I've got both the screens showing at once, it's quite small and probably hard to see. So I'm going to try and remember to keep it as zoomed in as I can whilst it's still being workable with. Okay, so the next one is this flower. Oh. I have more park threads than I thought. Have I not been marking them off? Interesting. What have I been doing? Okay. So this one is that colour, yeah. And then the flower is that pink that I did mark. The heart there is the blue, so let me just mark that as parked. But what is this end one? Are they the same colour? I'm not sure. Let's see, compare them. Do they look the same? Maybe they are the same. Okay, slightly less confused now. So that is this guy. So I'm actually just going to park him in the next diagonal just to stop myself being confused and having the 2 threads there for no reason. If you don't mark your stitches, you're just asking for trouble. Okay, so go back down. I'll literally just park him in the next hole. Okay, so we're actually working with this blue colour now. Okay, those three, and then there's none more of that in this diagonal, so I will park this as high as I'm willing to take it. It's not very long, so I'm not willing to go too far. Maybe just where do I want to take it? I'm just going to end it. It's easier than trying to figure out where I'm going. It's really short anyway. Okay. So now we're doing the flower. Move this one out of the way. It's crazy to think that, you know, one day, in 50 years' time, this will be an actual picture. A picture of something, not just some colours. Has my hand been in the way? I really need to make sure I'm keeping an eye on what I'm filming. So when me and my boyfriend go to Wales, either this weekend or next week, we are planning to walk across, I think it's a place called Fisherman's Walk or something, and it's basically you're walking along like a gorge or like a cavern, what's it called? I don't know the word for it, but it's over a river along the edges of the cliffs basically, and there's someone, I don't know if it's someone professional or just some other person has built like a walkway along the edge, and you kind of have to hold on with ropes, and I mean it looks a little bit scary but also looking forward to it. I'll insert a picture here of the place so you know what I mean, because I'm sure that wasn't the best explanation. And then we're going to, I think it's in Snowdonia, but if not, then we're also going there. He's the one planning it, I'm just the one that agrees to the ideas. Because he knows that if he doesn't come up with the ideas, I will stay home and stitch. There will be no adventures, just stitching. Okay. Mark them off. And I'll park that one just there. I wish there was, I mean there probably is, but I wish there was a shortcut thing on the markup app like there is on Pattern Keeper where you can just double tap to park. I might have to look in the settings and see if that's a thing, but I don't think it's a thing. If it is a thing, someone let me know, because it's definitely a little bit long-winded having to hold down and then press park and let it park. Okay, so we've got lots of this one. Again, I don't think this is going to be long enough to do them all, but we'll see how far we get. How can this chart be so pretty when it's literally just this teeny tiny corner? It's crazy. So nice. And also, how can this chart, which is, you know, you would think confetti wise would be similar, it would be similar between all the bookshelf series. This one seems to be a hell of a lot less confetti than My Amazing Animal Kingdom. I don't know if I've just jinxed that, but so far it definitely is. I wonder if there's anyone out there who's done both that can confirm. Okay, do these two last stitches with this thread and then I'll end it. those off. And then I will I'm going to finish off this symbol and then I will call it a day. There's one lonely other symbol in this square, this section, but I'm going to leave that one today. I'll just finish these symbols and that will be it. I'm going to go in and make myself some dinner because my boyfriend is away, so it's just me this evening. So I'm going to have some fire noodles because when there's no one else home, I am under no obligation to cook a wonderful meal. I can just eat fire noodles, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, and then I'll park that one there and mark those off. Mark that as parked because that's something I apparently forget to do all the time. And that is it. So, yeah, let's see how many stitches we did. 195, so just shy of 200, and that's not too bad for 45 minutes. Yeah, we're on 0.2%, not even 1,000 stitches yet. So definitely slow progress, only 432,000 to do. So yeah, we're looking at November 2028 to finish this still. I think it was at 2028 last time. Yeah. Yep. So there you go. One day we'll get there. So I hope you all have a lovely evening or morning or afternoon or whatever time you're watching this video, and I will see you again some point this week. I will definitely film again this week. I have time, I will do it. Okay, bye guys.